Hello, how are you? Today I brought you a wonderful recipe for your lunch or dinner. It's very easy to make. You don't even need to know how to cook. It doesn't have wheat flour, it doesn't have gluten, it doesn't have butter, it doesn't have oil, and it's low in calories. So it's great if you're trying to lose weight, and it will keep you feeling full for a long time. What I like most about this recipe is that the ingredients are cheap and easy to find. I even think you probably already have all of them at home. Stick around until the end because you won't want to miss it. First of all, if you're new here, welcome. Take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. I post new videos every day with new and different recipes every day. You're going to love them. When you make this recipe, let me know in the comments how it turned out. Let's get started with our recipe because it's super easy. As always, you'll find the ingredients, quantities, and nutritional information down below in the description, as you already know. The first thing I have here is cabbage. You can see there's a lot of cabbage, but it's going to shrink down a lot. Cabbage is a vegetable that's very low in calories and high in fiber, which will really help keep you full and support good digestion. Not to mention, it tastes amazing. To this cabbage, I'm going to add a bit of carrot. Just sprinkle it on top here. And let me show you that carrots don't actually have that many carbs. A lot of people think they do, but that's not true. I have a video here where I talk more about this, whether carrots make you gain or lose weight, which is a great option for us to add. The carrot and cabbage are both raw, and now I'm going to add some salt. I'm not going to add any more salt to the recipe. It'll just be this amount right now, so we can dehydrate a bit and draw out some of the liquid from the cabbage and carrot. So I'm going to mix this up, really combine everything well here. I'll grab another spatula to do this, but I'll make sure it's all well mixed and then wait about 10 minutes. I'll come back here to show you how it turned out, and we'll continue from there because it's really easy. So while the cabbage is here, still releasing some liquid, I'm going to make the dough to save some time. Do this at home too, to speed things up. In this dough, we're going to use eggs, which I'll beat here. I'm just going to add a pinch of salt so the dough isn't completely bland since it will be separate from the filling, but you don't need to add much. I even have a video here talking more about excessive sodium and salt consumption, what signs your body gives you, and I'll leave it down below. Are you consuming too much salt, or are you able to control it? Let me know down below in the comments. So, look, I've mixed the yolk and the white here, and now I have the beaten egg ready. Now I'm going to add the yogurt. I'm using Greek yogurt, but you can use any good quality plain yogurt. Depending on your dietary preference, it can be either low-fat or whole. This one I'm using happens to be low-fat, Greek, unsweetened, with nothing added. You can use whichever yogurt you prefer, and you can even make your own yogurt at home. So it's up to you. I have a video explaining how to make yogurt at home and a video where I talk about the 7 best probiotics because yogurt is also a probiotic. I'll leave them down below in the description if you want to know more. Now I'm going to add the baking powder so it gets well mixed in. And to give it the right consistency, I'm going to add oat flour, which is my flour of choice here. Remember that oats have fiber, protein, and beta-glucan, which helps with cholesterol. I have a really nice video here talking about which type of oats is best for your diet, whether it's flakes, flour, or bran. I explain more about the differences between them, and I'll leave all of that down below for you as well. So, we mix it here. The dough has already reached the right consistency. And now I'm going to squeeze our cabbage, which I've managed to get nice and shiny. You can see that the cabbage doesn't look like it did before. It almost looks like it's been cooked, but nothing has actually happened to it. So now we're going to remove the excess liquid from the cabbage. I'll do this separately, but I just want to show you how it's done. We're going to squeeze it like this until we get rid of the excess liquid, and I'll put it in a bowl here so you can see. But I'm going to do this off to the side here so we don't waste too much time on camera. But look, the liquid is already coming out. I just want to get rid of the excess. So we squeeze it really well. I'll be right back with it well squeezed so we can move on to this next step and finish up. I also went ahead and set up the frying pan here so we can make things easier. I'm going to turn it on here. Actually, not a frying pan, a pot. And first, I'm going to heat up my olive oil. It's really important that we never let the olive oil reach its smoke point. I have a video where I talk more about this, where I discuss the benefits of olive oil. I'll leave it down below for you as well. If we just heat it up and use it for sautéing, there's no problem at all. And to sauté here, I'm going to use a seasoning that's a bit different from what we're used to. I'm going to use green onions. Usually people sauté a lot with garlic and onion, which gives a really tasty but stronger flavor. Green onion has a slightly milder flavor, so I think it will work really well with our recipe. While it's getting more sautéed here, I'm going to take the opportunity to check how our cabbage is doing. because in a little bit, I'm going to add the cabbage and the carrot in here. Just let the green onions start to get more golden, then we'll add everything in here to make our filling. You don't need to add salt here, because the cabbage will already have salt. You remember I added salt with the carrot, so you don't need to add any more salt here. And as the green onion gradually gets more golden here, becoming more cooked, I'll then take the prepared cabbage and I will squeeze out some of the excess liquid from it. We definitely want to remove all of that unwanted moisture. And then we'll proceed to add it here to our pan. When you make this recipe, let me know in the comments how it turned out. Let me just give this a quick stir before I wash my hands, and I'll be right back with it sauteed for you. So hang on, I'll be right back. So look, the cabbage is ready now, it's sauteed. I'm going to grab my serving dish and bring it over here, and I'll explain it to you. And I'm going to set it here so I can move my stove out of the way, since I don't need it anymore for this recipe. Now I'm going to assemble these ingredients. I have a baking dish here. It can be any kind, glass, or even a regular cake pan. I just put this paper here to make it easier to remove later and to show you. But at home, you don't need to do this. You don't need to buy this paper. If you don't have it at home, just bake it directly in the pan. Here, I'm going to add a bit of our batter and I'll show you how I'm going to assemble it. Look. I take our prepared batter and I'm just going to carefully put a few generous spoonfuls at the very bottom to form the essential base, which will be the bottom part of our delicious pie. I'll leave the majority of it for the end, for the top part. Just a little bit like this. Just line the bottom, cover it all. You don't need to use a lot down here, so there's more left for the top to look nicer. Now I'm going to add some of our sauteed cabbage. If you want, you can mix everything together. I'm just making it in layers like this to make it more interesting and different. But if you think it works better for you to saute and mix everything together, go ahead. Do whatever works best in your home. Everyone has a different routine, and sometimes there's no time to do things in layers. What really matters is that it tastes good and is healthy. That's what we want. Look, a layer of our cabbage here, which smells amazing. Let me turn it to this other side here to see if everything looks good on this side. I think I can put a little bit on here. Now I'm going to add, between the cabbage, which I'll add more of later, a bit of chicken. This is raw chicken, chopped up, and I'm going to add a little powdered mustard, just to give it more flavor. So I will thoroughly mix it up here, and then carefully put it on top. I am using this powdered mustard here, but if you prefer, you can certainly use paprika or whatever spice you like. We mix it here, just to give the chicken some extra seasoning. You know I like my food well seasoned. Tell me, what spice are you going to use? And now we're going to add, let me just use a fork, some pieces of chicken on top here. If you want, once again, to mix the batter with the cabbage, the carrot, the chicken, all together and bake it, that will work too, and it'll taste great. So, decide how you want to do it and let me know afterwards. I'd really love to hear about it. Let's spread it out here so there's no fighting and no one is left without chicken. So look, I have smoothed it out here so that the chicken is now more or less evenly distributed, and at this point, we will add the remaining portion of the cabbage, making sure to spread it out and evenly once again. This pie is a wonderful recipe for the weekend, since you make just one dish. It has fresh vegetables for the entire family. Everyone is going to love and enjoy this delicious meal. You can certainly use any other fresh and readily available vegetables you might have conveniently at home in your kitchen. For instance, you can easily use broccoli florets if you want to, or you could also incorporate cauliflower or even some zucchini and so much more. Tell me what ingredients you would use in this delicious recipe. I'd love to see your comment. So, I've already leveled out the cabbage and the carrot here, and now let's add the remaining portion of our batter on top to create the perfect golden brown crust for our savory pie. It's going to be wonderful. Make it at home because this one will be a hit. The whole family will love it. And even for those who don't like vegetables, this is a really great way to serve them, especially because we've hidden the cabbage underneath. If you want to disguise it even more, you can do that trick of mixing everything together like I mentioned. So now this is going into the oven to bake. The oven should be at 360 degrees Fahrenheit. We need the chicken and the batter to cook. When I come back, I'll tell you how long it took and cut a slice. Just wait, you're going to love it. Look how beautiful it is. It's a bit cooler now. I took it out of the oven and waited a bit before removing it from the pan, but it took about 40 to 45 minutes for the chicken to be well cooked, which is important. I'm going to take it out of here, put it on a serving dish, and cut a piece so you can see. Let's cut a piece. I'm going to cut a different piece here, a bit at an angle, so you can really see what the inside of this delicious pie looks like. Make it at home. It's going to be a hit with your family. Look how beautiful it is. I'm going to put a piece of it up here so you can get a better look at the layers and the filling. Just look at how wonderful that is. Look, I'm going to cut another piece here in the middle so you can see what the texture is like. Make it at home. The whole family will love it. And remember, if you want, you can also fill it with tuna, ground beef, chopped eggs. Tell me, what would your favorite filling be? There are already so many variations here that I want to know which one you'll choose for this recipe. Are you going to make it exactly like this, or will you change something? I'd love to read your comment. Give the video a like, because that really helps me out, and share it with anyone who needs it. Let's spread this chain of kindness together. That's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye. It looks wonderful, and the smell is amazing. Let's try it.